Fencepost, I heard you were having a hard day, so I thought I would come by and check on you and see how you were doing. And just give you just a little bit of wisdom that I learned in a psych hospital, which was this, that sometimes in spite of everything that's going on around us, we have to find some kind of joy. And I know you got all kinds of mud, and you got muck, and you've got cows, and I know you're standing here in all of it, and you don't seem like you have a purpose sometimes, but you do. You know, I used to work in a psych hospital. I told you this before, Fencepost, but there was this one girl that I called my flower child, and I loved her because she would go out on the patio when they were smoking, and she would pick flowers, and she put a flower behind her ear, she put a flower in the ashtray, and she just was amazing about doing stuff like that in spite of everything that was going on in her life. And the maintenance guys hated it because they were trying to beautify the psych hospital, you know, by planting flowers around as if that would make everything a little bit nicer. But she would pick them and they would go crazy. And so they told me, the charge nurse said, don't let her go out there on the smoking porch and pick all those flowers out of that bed, and you go out there and stop her when she does. And so I saw her picking the flowers one day. I just let her do it. Because you got to respect a woman that in spite of everything that she's going through, she finds a lot of joy and she finds beauty. And I can remember one day she was out on the smoking porch and I was inside, and somebody came in and said, she's crying. I don't even know if they knew each other's names that much, but I went out to the smoking porch and I looked, and there was my flower child plopped down on the ground with her back up against a high fence, and she was crying. And I sat down beside her and I said, what's going on? What are you crying about? And she said, my family brought me these tobacco and papers, and why didn't they bring me bought cigarettes? I want bought cigarettes, she said. So I guess the family was low on money, and so instead of just buying her a pack of cigarettes, they bought her a bag of tobacco and some rolling papers. And so I knew at that moment that there was something I could do to help her out. I could go back on this skill I have. I haven't used this skill in a long time, but I knew that day I could help her out. So I went and got the tobacco, and I got the rolling papers, and I sat down at the desk in the psych ward, and I started rolling one cigarette after another cigarette until I piled them high. I mean, they were rolled so tight and so perfect. I mean, a Cuban can't even roll a cigar like that. People would come by and say to me, where in the world did you learn to roll like that? And I'd just smile and shake my head. And I mean, I got her a whole big stack of cigarettes, enough cigarettes that she wouldn't cry for quite a while. And I gave them to her. And she started confiding in me. As we sat there in the day room with all the other patients at the desk there, as everybody was watching television, she would tell me about her life, and she told me that she had 2 husbands. One was a drunk and one sniffed glue. And I asked her, I said, well, which one was the better husband? And she said, neither one. And then she laughed, and I laughed. So you've got to find joy in spite of everything. One thing I would say about your life is you're at a gate. I mean, that's a great thing. You're at a gate where cows go in and out, and you have a purpose. You just have to dig down deep and realize your purpose and enjoy yourself in spite of everything that's going on out here in the barnyard. So I got to go to work, but you have a good day.